Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're exploring a seriously modern twist on achieving a good life by diving into Thomas Alethea's book, 12 Steps to a Good Life. We're actually going to bypass the typical run-of-the-mill self-help advice today, and instead we're focusing on one highly practical application. We're talking about using artificial intelligence as a digital companion to completely modernize the age-old practice of introspection. So if you've ever felt totally overwhelmed by your own mind, well, you are in exactly the right place. Okay, let's dive into this, starting with a quote from the author that, honestly, hits pretty close to home. Alethea writes, "Of the 100 billion thoughts I've had in my life, 99% of them were bullshit." It's funny, right? But it's also profoundly true. Our minds are just these chaotic engines. We have all these competing voices inside us, desires, fears, and just general anxieties about the future. And left unchecked, this internal noise creates a massive amount of confusion. We actually end up mistaking these completely fleeting mental events for our actual identity. Section 1. The perennial inner struggle. Think of this struggle as the call to action in your own personal hero's journey. The unexamined mind naturally misleads us into suffering. But here's the thing. This division inside us isn't just some poetic metaphor. It is a biological, neurological fact. Internal conflicts are completely natural and inevitable. You literally contain opposing voices. Because of this, trying to just think your way out of a problem using the exact same consciousness that created it, it's impossible. We desperately need an external tool to bring some kind of order to this biological chaos and harmonize our thoughts with reality. Section 2. The power of journaling. So, for centuries, the absolute gold standard for self-examination has been something called a commonplace book, basically a separate pen and paper notebook used to capture thoughts and literally force a racing mind to just slow down. To give this practice some actual structure, Aletheia introduces a core methodology called RADAR. That stands for Reflect, Describe, and Respond. First, you reflect on your emotional state without any judgment. Second, you describe the facts using really specific, neutral language. And finally, you respond by consciously choosing an action that aligns with your core values. It's this brilliant thought-stopping technique that forcefully shifts you from an impulsive reaction to a highly intentional action. Section 3. Hurdles of self-reflection. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. Journaling sounds great in theory, but actually doing it every single day, it's incredibly hard. And the source material validates this struggle completely. The book highlights this really powerful quote from Jay Strachan. Self-scrutiny is often the most unpleasant and always the most difficult of moral actions. Looking in the mirror requires massive courage. Taking a daily personal inventory, actually facing our own flaws, and committing our deepest resentments to paper, it is emotionally taxing work. And because it's so tough, we naturally hit these massive roadblocks. In the hero's journey, these are basically your threshold guardians trying to derail you. Traditional journaling has some incredibly common pitfalls. You might fall into overthinking, where you're obsessing over details without actually living your life. Or you might get completely sucked into a negative spiral, where venting just deepens your bad mood. Then there's subjective bias. That's when you use your journal for passive-aggressive venting, where you just stay mad instead of actually solving the problem. And, of course, there's the ultimate villain, writer's block, where you're just staring totally paralyzed at a blank page. Section 4. Your digital AI companion. And this brilliantly illustrates the mentor phase of our journey, which is the most modern twist in the entire book. Aletheia suggests using AI not to replace your human emotion, but to act as a deeply objective sounding board. Just contrast raw, unguided journaling with AI-assisted reflection. Raw journaling is a beautiful practice, sure, but it is super prone to those negative spirals and subjective biases we just mentioned. By feeding your thoughts into an AI, it acts as a digital companion that doesn't just reflect your raw emotions back at you. Instead, it organizes them, structures them, and provides absolute emotional clarity completely free from the baggage of your ego. Let's actually break down these specific benefits, because engaging in a dialogue with an AI companion literally supercharges your self-reflection. First off, you can completely bypass writer's block. You just start dictating or typing out fragmented, messy thoughts, and the AI engages right back with you. It cleans up that messy writing so you can actually read and understand your own ideas. It can take 3 entire pages of scattered, chaotic thoughts and instantly summarize them into a single cohesive paragraph. And perhaps most powerfully of all, it can objectively assess the real emotional sentiment behind your entries. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the exact sentiment breakdown we're looking at here. Imagine pouring a chaotic, highly emotional rant into your digital companion. Instead of just letting you wallow in that negativity, the AI can analyze the text and say, hey, based on your entry, your sentiment is 60% frustration, 30% fear, and only 10% hope. It cuts right through your blind spots and your emotional reasoning. It gives you concrete, objective data on your own feelings, which then allows you to use that radar technique, reflect, describe, respond, with incredible, almost surgical precision.
Section 5. The hero's journey continues.
Which brings us right to the return phase of the hero's journey. You've faced the chaos of your own mind, you've utilized tools of reflection, and you've enlisted a modern mentor to parse the data. As the book reminds us, transformation is not just a single one-and-done event. It's an ongoing process of growth, loss, discovery, and integration. This tech-assisted twist we've been talking about, it isn't about letting a computer live your life for you. No, it's an incredibly powerful tool to help you thrive within life's inevitable challenges, empowering you with actionable clarity every single day. So I want to leave you with this really provocative thought. If you sat down and spoke to a digital companion today, what hidden truths would it reveal about you? Would it find fear hiding right behind your anger? Would it find a spark of hope where you only saw frustration? The tools for profound self-discovery are literally at our fingertips right now. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning, keep reflecting, and absolutely embrace the journey.